Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Manchester United are finding it very difficult to make signings in this summer transfer window. We're also finding departures very difficult. Now our lack of transfer activity is causing major frustration for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because so far we have only made one signing in this summer transfer window, and that was Donny van de Beek. And we have missed out on a lot of our targets. Obviously, we missed out on Sergio Reguilon. He went to Tottenham. We missed out on Bale. He went back to Tottenham. We also missed out on Jack Grealish because the other week he signed a 5-year deal with Aston Villa. We also missed out on Erling Haaland in January. We also missed out on Jude Bellingham. There's around 2 weeks left of this summer transfer window. And I think Solskjaer deserves more backing because I don't think he's getting backed enough. And Solskjaer's publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window. But Solskjaer's been very, very frustrated with the board. But we've been very critical of the board anyway for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. I think the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired haven't been backed enough. I think we've also overpaid for players. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward's been with us around 8 years and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But you can see that Solskjaer's trying to improve the squad and, he's trying to change the culture of the club. But there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Now, that Manchester United are trying to sign Alex Telles from Porto. Now, I've recently read up that Alex Telles is determined to join Manchester United. Manchester United have not yet come to an agreement on a fee with Porto. And that seems to be the stumbling block. It did mention yesterday that we've been given a stumbling block in our transfer pursuit of Alex Telles due to George Mendes because he's also been involved in negotiations. Now, Alex Telles is available on A3 next year because that's when his current contract does expire. But from a Porto perspective, they'd rather cash in for him now rather than letting go on a free next year. But Alex Telles does want to come to Manchester United. I think Porto have said that they want around 17 or 18 million pounds. He is a cheap solution though. It said yesterday that Manchester United would have to pay around 25 million pounds. Alex Telles' release clause is around 36 million pounds. But around 3 or 4 days ago, Mohamed Bouafsi from RMC Sport said that Alex Telles has agreed terms on a 5-year contract with Manchester United worth around £70,000 a week. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he also confirmed that Man United are ahead of PSG in negotiations to sign Alex Telles. But another one of the reasons why we're looking at Alex Telles is because we obviously missed out on Sergio Reguilon. I think it'd be very beneficial for Manchester United to get a left-back in. We have got 2 predominant left-backs in the team at the moment, and that's obviously Luke Shaw. He's our first choice left-back, but my element of concern about him is injury-prone. Recently recovered from an ankle injury not too long ago. And we've also got Brandon Williams. He's our backup left-back. Alex Telles has been at Porto for quite a few years now. He's enjoyed around 4 years with them. I think he's contributed around 65 goals in 140 odd games. Before he was at Porto, he had a loan spell with Inter Milan. Before then, he was at Galatasaray. And when he was younger, he played for Grêmio and also played for Juventude. He is the age of 27. The other week, his agent was in Manchester to thrash out a deal for his client to join Manchester United. So Alex Telles could possibly be our second signing in this summer transfer window. We're looking at a few alternatives to Alex Telles. We're looking at Tagliafico from Ajax. If I pronounce his name right, I don't know, but I heard that he's available for around £23 million. We're looking at that Torre from Monaco, so he's another alternative. Man United are still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board from Borussia Dortmund. I don't think Manchester United can afford Jadon Sancho. I think he is too expensive. Borussia Dortmund's valuation has been around £108 million. And throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Now, talks are still ongoing for Sancho. David Ornstein from The Athletic recently provided us with an update on Sancho, and he mentions that the personal terms have been agreed over a long-term contract. And Fabrizio Romano said that Sancho still wants to come to Manchester United. I heard as well that Dortmund could increase their asking price because of how long, this Sancho saga has gone on for. But Solskjaer's been very, very infuriated with this Jadon Sancho transfer saga because it has gone on, for a while. I think we've been in for him for the last 3 years. I heard yesterday that Borussia Dortmund have found their replacement and that they're now interested in Ismail Assar from Watford. But we've already said, that we're not giving up on the signing of the player, and we could wait until the final week of the transfer window to make our move. He is our number one priority target. We have been looking at quite a lot of alternatives to Jadon Sancho. We've been looking at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. We've been looking at Ivan Perisic. We've been looking at Douglas Costa. We've been looking at Antoine Fati Vieira from Barcelona because these much cheaper solutions than Sancho. But Dortmund made it clear to us last month, didn't they, that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so he went out on pre-season. If we don't get him in this summer transfer window, which I don't think we're going to now, we may not ever get him because next year we will face competition for the player because the likes of Madrid, Barcelona and maybe even Liverpool could go in for him. But I've outlined the reasons why I wanted Man United to sign him is because he'd exceed expectations in the Premier League. He's got a good friendship with Marcus Rashford. He's got good physical attributes and he's still very, very young and he's predominantly a right winner. Sancho's enjoyed a few good years with Borussia Dortmund. He's still got a contract with them till 2022. Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City back in 2017. The main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. And you had Sebastian Kehl, who's their head of football. He said that Sancho will be staying at Dortmund and he won't be leaving this summer. And he basically said, £73 million is not enough. So he said, Man United have got no chance of getting him in a cut price deal. Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss, also said that Sancho will be staying. Was it the other month? Michael Zorg, their sporting director, said he's staying and the decision is final. We was willing to give him the number 7 because we know that he'd fulfill number 7 well and we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. So there you go. Obviously, Manchester United are trying to sell players. We have got rid of a lot of the deadwood since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in to the football club. We got rid of the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez, Herrera, Fellaini, Darmian, Valencia, Young, Angel Gomez. We've also loaned a few young players out so they can get regular first team football. We loaned Tahith Chong out. We loaned Dylan Levitt out. Didn't we loan James Garner out? I think we loaned Joe Pereira out as well for another season. But it's very imperative that we sell players in this summer transfer window because we'll generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. And quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club. Now, obviously, there's been rumours of Jesse Lingard leaving Manchester United. Rob Dawson recently said that Jose Mourinho at Tottenham is keen on a reunion with the player, and Tottenham recently have been in talks to sign Jesse Lingard, and he says they were preparing to put around a £30 million bid in. Now, Solskjaer said he wants Jesse Lingard to stay because obviously Lingard has been part of the club for several years. He has been part of the club for several years. I think he's been with Man United since like 2000 overall, and he's been in our senior squad since 2011. Made around 133 appearances in the Premier League. Lingard's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. But £30 million, we can't turn that down. That's a good offer. And I think Zenit St. Petersburg, it mentioned, were interested in him. Lingard, don't forget, did have loan spells at Leicester, Birmingham, Brighton and Derby. There was also a period when he didn't score one goal in the Premier League or one assist for over a year. And I heard that we could even extend that option of a further year on his contract. Andres Pereira. Well, there was rumours of him leaving the football club, and I think a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him go. Because obviously Andres Pereira is finding game time very, very difficult. I just don't think he's good enough to represent Manchester United. Chris Smalling, there's a bit of news on him. Roma, like I mentioned yesterday, are preparing to put a second offer in for Chris Smalling. The Guardian have said that we are refusing to budget on our £18 million valuation. I think the first bid Roma put in was around £12 million, but I think Man United had turned this down. Chris Smalling was out on loan with Roma last season, where I thought it was an absolute revelation. And I think Smalling does want to go to Italy. But Solskjaer was saying during our Europa League campaign that he was in regular contact with Smalling and still insisted that he does have a future at the football club. Smalling's been at Man United now a good 9 or 10 years. Marcus Rojo, we're also looking to offload him. He was out on loan with Estudiantes last season. Phil Jones, we're also looking to offload him. We'd probably want around £12 million for Phil Jones. Phil Jones is currently injured at the moment. Phil Jones enjoyed around 9 or 10 years with Manchester United. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. I think we paid just over £16 million in from Blackburn. Diego Dalot, he's also another player we are looking to get rid of. Don't forget, we tried to use Diego Dalot as part of a deal of us getting Alex Telles, but Porto had turned this down. Dalot's enjoyed a few years at Manchester United. We did get him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £19 million in from Porto. Dalot's still got a contract of us till 2023, but he is our backup right back. Don't forget, he had back-to-back injuries at the first part of last season. Sergio Romero, he's also open to leaving the football club because he's now third-choice goalkeeper. Dean Henson recently returned, that's why. And Romero won't want to stay at Manchester United as third-choice goalkeeper, will he? Romero's enjoyed 5 years at the football club. Got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. Romero's just got a year left in his contract with an option of a further year, is it? Valencia have been interested in him. Leeds, Everton and Villa have also been in for Romero. There's obviously been rumours of Daniel James leaving the football club, and it mentions that Leeds United are interested in him. So, there you go. But I said to you, didn't I, that if we are to mount a title challenge up this season, Manchester United have got to make at least a couple of more signings. Now, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it for 7 years, and we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. In the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So Solskjaer's our fourth permanent manager since the Ferguson era, and in the last 7 years, we have spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and we've recruited 30 odd players in since Ferguson's retirement. A lot of them players we've brought in haven't been the right calibre players for Manchester United. I do believe we are at least 3 to 4 years off from winning the title. There's quite a lot of Manchester United fans that don't think Solskjaer is good enough to win the Premier League at Manchester United because obviously he hasn't got a proven pedigree. But I'm just hopeful this season that we can win a trophy because that's one of our expectations, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And Solskjaer has been at the football club now nearly 2 years, and we haven't won a trophy for over 3 years. You know what I mean? So, yeah. We've still got to see improvements at Manchester United. Like I said to you, Solskjaer's decision making has got to improve, because in a lot of games at Manchester United he's been very tactically naive. There's still certain aspects of our game now they've got to improve. You know what I mean? Players have got to improve, like I mentioned. Some players, that is. But don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. You know, I like the way Solskjaer's promoted the youth, because since Solskjaer took over the reins at Old Trafford in December 2018, he's had a habit of developing young, homegrown talents. And he recently set a challenge for our academy players to replicate the likes of Mason Greenwood and Brandon Williams. You know, Solskjaer has made good signings so far. You know, he has spent around £240 million. Last summer, he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odi Nagala in. And he recently brought Donny van der Beek in. And he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. Played 3 games for the club so far. Played the 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. Played the Crystal Palace game, came on as a sub, scored in his Premier League debut, and recently played the Luton game. And he's also brought a few academy players into the football club. So our recruitment has improved under him. It just hasn't been so good in this summer transfer window. And there's definitely, a lot of players that have improved under the Solskjaer era. That's another thing I want to put into the equation. But like I said, Tino, this season is Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And like I mentioned, this is a big season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, because Solskjaer knows that he's got to exceed his expectations if he is to remain in the Manchester United job. Now, like I said to one of my other videos, if Man United did decide to sack Solskjaer, who would come in to replace him? Now, obviously, before Solskjaer got the job permanently in March last year, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. And there was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in, and that at one point Zinedine Zidane was linked with a managerial role at Man United. And there's a few people out there and a few Man United fans that think we've got to get a manager in with a proven pedigree to get us back to where we want to be. But I told you, I haven't really got a perception on Solskjaer yet. I haven't. Let it delve into the season a bit more, then I'll give you more of a perception on him. Obviously, we had a bad start to the season. Lost our first game against Crystal Palace by 3-1. That was our worst defeat on an opening day of the Premier League season since 1995, which is 25 years ago. And it was the second season in a row at Old Trafford in the league that Crystal Palace had beaten us. But we bounced back against Luton. We did beat Luton Town by 3-0. And reflects on that, Solskjaer has now won 50 games as Manchester United manager out of the 91 or 92 he's managed. And he's become the third fastest Man United boss to do this. But at least we are into the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. By the way, we have got Brighton in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup because they beat Preston yesterday by 2-0. We've got Brighton on Saturday in the league at the Amex Stadium. It's our second league game of the season, and obviously we are looking for our first win of the Premier League season. But it won't be as easy as you think. But don't forget, at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, didn't we? And at that point, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. And like I said to you, when Solskjaer first came into the football club, he was inheriting a squad that was worth £700 million. This is obviously before he made signings. But, Solskjaer's inheriting a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. There's still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. Still one player from the Moyes era, and still a few players here from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. I don't know if Solskjaer has a foreseeable future for Man United, but all I know is it's just going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United or any manager in general to replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. Like I mentioned, Ferguson endured 27 years at Manchester United, won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. Did he? But all our success, the vast majority of our success came under Sir Alex Ferguson. We've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson retired, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. Now, we have got a lot of good players in our team, and there's a lot of players that Manchester United will keep. Martial, good player, we'll definitely keep him. I think Martial's done very, very well under the Solskjaer era. Martial's endured 5 years at Manchester United. We paid £36 million in from Monaco back in 2015, and he also did well in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We got Martial, at the age of 19. We know that he plays in that number 9, even though it isn't his predominant position, but he's very effective in that central position. Marcus Rashford, he's also done really, really well, and Man United will keep him. I think he's a foreseeable future for the club. Rashford's been part of the club anyway for several years. He's been at the club now around 15 years in total. He's now 22 and he's been a United player since the age of 7. And he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford just recently recovered from an ankle injury. He also had a back injury for us last season when he was out for a few months, Marcus Rashford. We know now he does play on that left-hand side. Mason Greenwood, we'll definitely keep him. I think he's the foreseeable future for Man United. Solskjaer's already said what Mason Greenwood needs to improve on if he is to become our number 9 in the foreseeable future, and that's his head. That's the only thing he's got to improve on. At the moment, Mason Greenwood is number 11. He recently got given the number 11 shirt, and he's the 4th Manchester United player to wear the number 11. Like I said, we had a few issues with Mason Greenwood recently. Obviously, inhaling laughing gas, something to do with that. And got withdrawn from the England squad with Phil Foden for taking girls back to the team hotel. This was obviously before we kicked off the season. And I think Solskjaer's held talks with Mason Greenwood regarding his private life. Mason Greenwood is still under contract with us until 2023. Brandon Williams, we'll also keep him. This season is Brandon Williams' second season in our senior squad. Williams recently got given the number 33 shirt. I think he's the first player to wear the number 33 since Paddy McNair is Brandon Williams. Not so long ago, he signed a 4-year contract with the football club, so he's committed his future with the club there. He made his senior debut for the club against Rochdale, did Brandon Williams, in the EFL Cup last season, and he made his first league start against Brighton. But he is our backup left back, is Brandon Williams. Do you think in the foreseeable he'll become our first choice left back? We could even play Brandon Williams at right back, to be honest with you. I heard that he's more right footed, but obviously Wan-Bissaka plays as a right back because he's our first choice right back, isn't he? I've also got to say as well, that we will keep Fred, McTominay and Matic. I think they have done well under Solskjaer, to be fair. Fred had a good season last season. Fred's been at the football club now a few years. Obviously, we got him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. And he's confounded his critics, Ron, as Fred. Obviously, he's been finding game time very difficult since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes and that. There was rumours a few weeks ago of him possibly leaving. Galatasaray went in for him, Roma went in for him. But Fred's already said, that he wants to stay at Man United and he wants to be an essential player and win trophies for the club. Fred's got a contract of us until 2023. Tominway, like I said, weren't so long ago, he signed a 5-year deal with Man United. Tominway has been part of the club for several years. Tominway, don't forget, had an ankle injury though last season. I think he's now our first choice holding midfielder. Nemanja Matic, like I said, there's aspects of his game that have really, really improved. And not so long ago, he signed a 3-year deal with Man United. Whether he sees out this 3-year deal or not, I do not know, because he's in his 30s now, is Nemanja Matic. He is. But he'll stay for at least one more season. Matic has enjoyed around 3 years with the football club. Juan Mata, I think he will stay at Manchester United for at least another season. He doesn't get in the team a lot now, but when he does make a fantastic impact. He did against Luton, scored in the penalty spot, also had some good chances. Juan Mata's had a good career at Manchester United. He's been with us since 2014. We paid just under £40 million in from Chelsea, didn't we? Juan Mata. Luke Shaw, he will also stay at the football club as well. I said the only thing Luke Shaw's got to improve on is his fitness. That's the only thing he's got to improve on, because he is injury prone, isn't he, Luke Shaw? He's obviously our first choice left back at the moment. We'll keep Victor Lindelof for at least another season. I've got a lot of element of concerns now about Victor Lindelof. I'm beginning to wonder if he's good enough to represent Manchester United. He was absolutely abysmal against Crystal Palace, was accountable for all 3 goals, you can say. Had a lot of bad games last season, and he's nowhere near on the same level as Harry Maguire. So it would be beneficial if we could get a centre-half in to go alongside Harry Maguire, someone on like Harry Maguire's level. I think we have spent a good 180. I think we spent a good 182 million or 183 million on centre-halves, but we have got around 7 centre-halves in the team. Lindelof's enjoyed around 3 years with the club. We paid £30 million in from Benfica in 2017. Bailly, he will stay for at least another season. Some United fans would play Bailly ahead of Victor Lindelof. Again, my element of concern about Bailly is that he is injury prone, but he's got to improve his fitness. Bailly's enjoyed around 4 years with the football club. We'll keep Harry Maguire, obviously. Solskjaer's confirmed that he will remain Manchester United captain this season, Harry Maguire. There's still aspects of his game that I've got to improve, obviously. Don't forget last month, Harry Maguire was arrested in Greece and he was convicted. And he got a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days. As it stands at the moment, Harry Maguire is our second most expensive signing and the most expensive centre-half in the world. Tuanzebe, he'll stay at the club. I think so anyway. Tuanzebe is currently out though with injury at the moment. Fossa Mensah, not sure about him because it said the other week that we'd actually put him up for sale. De Gea's obviously going to stay at the football club for at least another season. I think probably David De Gea will remain our number 1 goalkeeper for this season, or at least for the first part of the season. But De Gea has been our number 1 keeper for several years. But I've said, Dean Henderson should be put as number 1. But I think Dean Henderson's definitely our future number 1 goalkeeper. Recently made his full debut for the club, did Dean Henderson, against Luton Town. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he'll definitely stay at the club. He's the foreseeable future for Manchester United. This season's Aaron Wan-Bissaka's second season at the club. He's just got to improve his attacking intent. Paul Pogba, he will also stay at the football club for at least another season as well. So there's a lot of players that Manchester United, will keep. You know what I mean? But yeah, so on my next video, I will be giving you a preview for the Brighton-Manchester United game. I will be giving you a preview for that. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes, below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.